Oh my goodness, I've been muted. That's awkward. Sorry, guys. Um, well, like I was saying, sorry the stream is starting a bit late today. I had some stuff I got caught up in had to do. Um, so apologies, but we are still going to be getting in the 3, 4-ish hours we normally do. Um, it'll just be going a bit later. So again, apologies. I try to stream around 12 p.m. Eastern every day. I just had to deal with some stuff. But yeah, today we are going to be doing some more homebrew monsters. We might also do some homebrew items, and I'm also going to be doing some of our encounters we like to do live. Not for the series I'm making in shorts, but we'll just pick random encounters and go with that. Cool. Um, cool. So let's get started. So two things I want to do. Um, I want to. We need to make some more CR1 enemies for our um our homebrew series that we're going to be doing. So we have a lot of CR0, 1.8, 1.4, 1.2. Now we're on 1. So we need to make some more of those. We can look at what we currently have. Um, I think we can just select this guy. Yeah, so we have a snowman and a lesser demon in CR1 right now. Very, very polar opposites. Um, but they're here. So this is, I mean, this is just a good example of what we're making. Like it can be serious, it can be ridiculous, it can be any monster we want. Cool. So I think we'll start off by trying to come up with a oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank right now. Um, I am working on. Oh my goodness, I'm actually my brain's not braining. Oh my goodness, what am I trying to say? Well, we think of a new monster to come up with. I think we'll do some live encounters maybe. Um, so what encounters would people like to see is my question because we got a good few options here, right? I know people really liked the the deer. Maybe we see how many monsters a deer can kill before it gets got. Do a deer kill counter type deal. That's something we could potentially do. Um, but yeah, just let me know what you guys think. But with that said, let's get started. We will. I was thinking what we could do is create like a werewolf type monster. But it be not a werewolf, a were something else. So like a werebear, like a were owl or something. I don't know. So that's a good starting point, I think, for today. Again, if you have suggestions, feel free to throw them my way. But yeah, so for the homebrew, let's get started. Is there I mean, there must be a werewolf, right? There's not even a werewolf in the game? I could have sworn there was a werewolf. Oh, maybe we just make a werewolf then. No, there is a werewolf. Why didn't it come up here? Maybe it's not in a, it's in a source book I don't have. That's potentially it. Okay, so no werewolf, but we can do a were something else. Um, hey, Crafter Steven with the sub. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. How you doing? What about like a where? I'm just thinking of animals. Mm. Ooh, what if we do like a completely different topic here? What if we do a like elemental version of a creature that just does like a bit of every elemental damage? You know what I mean? That's a possibility for sure. We could do a type of dragon. That was just yesterday. We could make a new dragon type. Let's just look through the monsters for some inspiration, maybe. Ooh, gargoyle. What if we just do an animated sword? Is that a thing? Just an animated sword? D&D animated sword. I know animated armor is a thing. Animated flying sword. It is a thing. Okay. So no, that won't work. Um, my creative juices have run dry. We're running out of cool things to make. 1 CR. Is a, I mean, I'm sure a witch is a thing, right? Ooh, a witch. A witch isn't a thing. We could potentially do a witch. All right, you know what? I'm out of ideas, so let's do this. Well, I come up with ideas, or you guys come up with ideas. Let's run an encounter. Just give some time for the brain juices to start running, shall we? What do we want to see fight? Um, Here, I'll walk you guys through live how I do this. So we would get a enemy we want. So let's say we do CR0 again, right? Let's say we do, what haven't I done in the short one? And then we get my source books just so I have them. Monster manual and basic rules. So let's say I wanted to do a octopus. Sure, we didn't do an octopus. And it will take on a, what's a fair fight here? You know what? Let's do this. Let's do a piranha versus an owl, because that is just an outrageous battle, huh? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Go Cool. So then once you have the monsters added to the encounter, oh, I didn't save. Okay, 1 second. Cool. So let's say Piranha Owl. Once they're added to the encounter, all I would do normally, you start the encounter. So normally, I do it in short version, so 1080 by 1920, so the page is normally down here. But now we're actually on full screen, so we can see the whole page over here. It's so nice. So here's a peek into how I make these shorts, how I do these videos. Basically, I would just, um, first off, I read the character sheet. Obviously, with the low creatures, it's pretty self-explanatory. They don't really do much. I mean, this has flyby, but that doesn't affect our series very much. And the piranha, again, water breathing doesn't affect our series. So really, it only has one attack. There isn't much to read here. So for example, with the piranha, it gets a +5 attack roll, or attack roll +5, with advantage if the target doesn't have its hit points. So this is something I would need to read. Obviously, it doesn't have a button here. You need to do this manually. So I'd read this, make sure I understand how the piranha works, and then we would just hop into it. So let's do it. Should we run an example here? Got to get into the mood. You got to get excited. Watch this epic battle as an owl takes on the piranha. We'll start by rolling initiative. The owl gets a 21, the piranha gets a 17. We'll start with the owl, which is going to try a talons attack against the piranha. That is a 7 to hit. It will not hit. We move on to the owl, which is going to try. We move on to the piranha. You see, I fucked it. Oh my goodness. Doing it live is hard. Hold on. You move on to the piranha, which is going to try a bite attack against the owl. That will be a. See, normally I'd have this prepared if we were doing the video. That is a 21 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 1 piercing damage to the owl. And that is a dead owl. So that's typically how I record these videos. Again, normally when I have the recording, I'll read through it. I'll see here I need to manually roll a die, so I'll start the video with this open, so I can just quickly come here. There's not really much setup other than that. It's kind of just you go in, you have 2 characters fight each other, and you have fun. So if you have any encounters during the day you want to see that we might not see on the shorts for ages, or you want a rematch from the shorts, let me know. We can do some live encounters. We can go from there. I mean, we can see how far the piranha can take it. There's a lot. I actually noticed there's a few monsters we skipped over in CR0, which we can kind of cover now. No, you don't think we did a Raven? We could do a Raven versus a Piranha real quick. And here we go. You need to restart the encounter because the initiative would have already been rolled and whatnot. So we just go. Watch this epic battle as a Raven takes on a Piranha. We'll start by rolling initiative. The Raven gets a 9, the Piranha gets a 9. We'll start with the Piranha as it has had the higher dexterity. It is going to try a bite attack against the Raven, and that is going to be a natural 1 to hit. It will not hit. We move over to the Raven, which is going to try and reply with a beak attack against the Piranha. That is a 21 to hit. That will hit, dealing 1 damage to the Piranha, and that is a dead Piranha. And that's basically all I do, guys. That's all there is to it. Just have fun filming these videos. It's 1 take, always 1 take. Whichever one wins. There's no rigging. I don't care. I will say once or twice, my audio messed up or something, so I did have to do it a second time. But when that happens, I make sure the same person wins. I always make sure that whatever happens the first time, we stay true to. So there can be a lot of upsets during the series. And then yeah, so now I just go All right, Piranha's dead. Raven's in. Let's find something similar strength to the Raven. Um, I mean, we'll just throw in an octopus because why not? We haven't done an octopus before. And then we'll do this one last account, and then we'll go back to homebrewing monsters. So, oh, sorry, I didn't restart it. Doo-doo-doo. So again, we just say watch this epic battle as an octopus takes on a raven. We'll start by rolling initiative. The octopus gets a 17, the raven gets a 3. We'll start with the octopus, which is going to try a tentacles attack against the raven. That is a 7 to hit. It will not hit. We move on to the raven. The raven is going to try and respond with a beak attack against the octopus. That is a 16 to hit. That will hit, dealing 1 damage to the octopus. We move back to the octopus, which is going to try a tentacles attack yet again against the raven. That is a 19 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 1 damage to the raven. We move back to the raven, which is going to try a beak attack against the octopus. That is a 10 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the octopus, which is going to be looking to finish out the fight here. That is a 17 to hit. That will hit, dealing 1 damage, and that is a dead raven. There you go. That's what it is, guys. We could do some like higher CR ratings for fun today, just because it will be like months before we get to them in the shorts. So if anyone has any like particular encounters they would like to see, just let me know and we can try and do that. But yeah, let's get back to our home brewing for a bit, and then we can circle back to live encounters whenever you guys have requests. Now, admittedly, I didn't think of any monster during that. So let's do a do, 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 do. See, my mind is all about winter right now because it's winter, it's snowy outside. Um, I gotta think differently. What if we do a animated sandcastle? Think summer vibes. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try an animated sandcastle. Boke! How's it going, man? How you doing? All right, let's do. What would this be based off of? I don't even know. We could just do like a bear, maybe. Oh, I think my dog wants out of the room. 1 second. Doggo wants to be free. Going well for me too. Can't complain. Had some stuff I needed to do this morning, so sorry the stream started a bit late, but all good now. Um, we can base this off of. Let's think about what this animated sandcastle would do. I'm thinking it would have like the way I'm imagining it is it would. Oh, you know what we could do? We could make like lower CR, like sand soldiers and sand archers, and then we could have the sandcastle be like a boss that summons these minions. So the sandcastle would summon sand archers and sand soldiers. Or fighters, however you want to word it. I think that's a good idea. You know, I'm going to do that. I think a guard would be a good starting point for this. Um, so I guess we can just put Sandguard for now. Um, don't worry about it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Um, Also, you just missed it. I was just doing some live encounters, but I was saying if you have like an encounter you'd like to see, feel free to throw it in the chat and we can do it live. I know the shorts that I'm posting is going to take ages before you get to the high CRs. So feel free to request anything, or if you want to see a rematch of one of the ones we've already done in the shorts, feel free. The thing about like the way we handle these battles is it's just so random. Like you could do it 10 times and each side would win 5 times, you know what I mean? So, it's interesting. Okay, so let's give a sand guard. Hmm. Let me get a 1/4. You'll get a +4 to hit, and we can honestly keep it as a spear, or we can add some flavor and put like sand spear or something. And it's actually going to do a 1d8 +1. It'll be pierced damage. We'll call it sand spear. There we go. Um, cool. So we'll just go through these real quick. Basically, we're gonna have a sand guard and a sand archer, or maybe we do sand fighter. Or I guess we can do sand guard. Maybe we can just do sand guard because it also has ranged attacks with its spear. Maybe we do that. Essentially, the sand castle is going to spawn sand guards every certain amount of time, and then that will be like its thing. People need to kill the sandcastle to stop the spawning of sand guards. How about spider versus crab? We can do a spider versus crab. Um, I will quickly finish up this character, then we can go do that. Spider versus crab. That's a match right there. So these are made of sand, so I'll make them like a 13 AC. I don't want to be too hard to kill. Initiative bonus, I'll give them a 0. Perception, 12 is fine. Average hit points, 11 is fine. Um, these are kind of like supposed to be not glass cannons, but slightly on like the squishier, higher damage side. So they have less AC than a normal guard, do slightly more damage, and have the same health. I think that's balanced. In terms of strength, honestly, we might just be able to leave all these stats the same. I mean, it's made of sand, so like we can make it slightly worse. Dexterity, we'll do with 10. Con, can say the same. Intelligence is going way down. It's going to be like a 4. It's a brainless sand guard. Wisdom, same thing. We can go. Uh, 6. In charisma, I mean, it's a talking sand guard. It can stay at 10. Cool. And also, if you have any idea for homebrew monsters, feel free to throw them in the chat. I've been running low on creative juices recently, so we've been struggling to come up with ideas. Cool. Let's go do this encounter. Do. I can't. Make sure I click the right one so I don't spoil the videos coming up. Oh yeah, we did Raven versus Octopus earlier. Octopus won. Okay, so we got Crab versus Spider. Crab and Spider. Where's my spider friend? There he is. Alrighty. Restart the encounter. The crab just has a claw attack. The spider just has its bite attack. Okay. 1 health. Ooh, okay. This is actually a good matchup. Gotta get in the mood here. Gotta do the full thing for you. Watch this epic battle as the crab takes on the spider. We'll start by rolling initiative. The crab gets a 5, the spider gets a 22. We'll start with the spider, which is going to try and bite the crab. That is a 14 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 1 piercing damage plus 2 poison damage for a total of 3 damage to the crab. And that is a dead crab. And that's basically what I do. I gotta get the dramatic music going in the background of the stream now that I think about it, if we're gonna do this. It's not the same without the music. I gotta find where that music is in my file explorer. We'll do that after. Spider's back, baby. Dude, I love the glass cannon monsters because it's like it just adds so much randomness to the fights. You have no clue who's gonna win. You know what? Should we do a rematch of the spider versus the crab? The glass cannon versus glass cannon showdown that occurred. Oh, sorry, the scorpion. Poison Man is so back, literally. See, but here's the thing, you know, just to show an example, let's throw the crab back in here. This is what I was saying earlier. The reason I find these fun to do is eventually, if you do this 10 times, the crab is going to win some of them, and the spider is going to win some of them, right? It's not always going to be the same thing. And the fact that it's a one and done adds like so much randomness. Like the strongest monster won't always win, which I really like. So for example, if we do this again, we'll go through the whole thing, get back in the mood. Watch this epic battle as the crab takes on a spider. We'll start by rolling initiative. The crab gets a 1, the spider gets an 8. The spider is going to try and bite the crab. That is a 12 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 1 piercing damage. Well, that wasn't a good example because the spider won again. But you get the point. If you do it enough times, eventually the crab will go first, and it will hit 1. Or the spider will miss, and then the crab will go and hit. But, yeah. Yeah, you get the point. You get what I'm trying to say. It's like the scorpion. This is literally just whoever rolls first wins. And yeah, I do. I was saying earlier, there is zero like preference on my end on what monster wins. It's always like legit first go, whoever wins. There has been a time where like my audio messed up, so I had to rerun it, but I made sure the same monster won. So never any rigging. And now my dog wants back in. 1 second. The dog cannot make up its mind today. Alrighty. Gotta get in the mood every time. I gotta take a deep breath for the intro before I start one of these. Watch this epic battle as the scorpion takes on a spider. We'll start by rolling initiative. The scorpion gets a 13, the spider gets a 12. We'll start with the scorpion, which is going to try a sting attack against the spider. That's a natural 1 to hit. It will not hit. We move over to the spider, which is going to try and respond with a bite attack against the scorpion. That's a 7 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the scorpion, which is once again going to try a sting attack against the spider. That is a 12 to hit. That will deal 1 piercing damage plus 2 poison damage for a total of 3 damage to the spider. And that is a dead spider. See? In the shorts, the spider won, but right here, the scorpion won. You never know who's going to come out on top. Imagine if the scorpion won on the shorts. Who knows what kind of generational run it would have gone on. Dogs never make up their minds. That's facts. Let's go, Scorpion. He's so back. I know the deer was a fan favorite. Do we do Scorpion versus deer real quick? And then we can go back to the homebrew. And now my dog wants out again. Oh my goodness. What are we doing, puppy? Come on. She'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm calling it. Alrighty. Watch this epic battle as the Scorpion takes on a deer. We'll start by rolling initiative. If the Scorpion gets a 16, the deer gets a 13. We'll start with the Scorpion, which is going to try and sting the deer. That is a 19 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal a staggering 6 damage to the deer. And that is a dead deer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. The deer just doesn't have it in it anymore. I don't know what to tell you. I tried bringing it back to life, and it just died instantly. I give her 3. You might be right. We gotta start the timer. Dude, the Scorpion is the ultimate glass cannon. You gotta respect it. Oh, she's back. We were both wrong. We got like a solid 30 seconds. Welcome back. Oh, so you're just gonna stand there and not come in, huh? I see how it is. There you go. Good doggy. Deer meta fell off. It really did. Dude, the deer went on a generational run, but it might be washed. I'm afraid to say it. Deer may be washed. Cool. So yeah, if there's any other encounters you want to see, just let me know, and we can run them, and then we'll do homebrew in the meantime while we decide what encounters we want to do. We'll make this sand castle. So we've got our sand guard. Now we'll make a sand castle. I wonder if we even need a base for this. We can maybe just create from scratch. It's pretty unique what we're doing. Is there a limit for the encounter? What do you mean by a limit? Like the amount of monsters or like CR rating? Honestly, we can do whatever we want. we're just vibing. We can do whatever you want. Cool. Oh, this is really cool. It gives you like a template. Oh, whoa. Creating from scratch is sick. What are those for? Like a CR limit? No, no CR limit. You can do whatever you want. Eventually, the shorts are going to get up to like the super ginormous monsters. I'm not sure how that will work, if they're going to fit into a short or not, but I'll try my best. But yeah, no, throw anything you want in there. We can have whatever you'd like. Oh, oops. Oh, this is really cool. We should make a spell casting monster today. We haven't made one yet. Go through the Sandcastle's turn. It spawns a sand guard. What? What? You want pets? My dog's just crying behind me. What is it? What's wrong? I don't think she likes our homebrew idea. We want to do a Death Knight versus an adult Red Dragon? We can do that. Okay, that sounds like fun. Um, Let me just clean up this trait real quick, and then we can hop over and do that. Cool. Let's do that. Oh, we gotta select a type here. Well, just beast for now. Silent Night. How's it going, man? How you doing? Oh, field required. This will be medium. Oh my goodness, we gotta fill out all this. Okay. We'll circle around to that encounter in a second. I gotta finish this up. So the AC for this is gonna be like a. This is gonna be like a hard to hit enemy with very low HP. Matter of fact, I almost want to give it 1 hit point. It's just if you hit this, it gets destroyed. Because if you it spawns a sand guard at the start of every turn. And I can clean this stuff up. So it needs to be. It can't be. Since it's a CR1, it can't be crazy. Like we can't have it going for 5 turns and spawning a ton of sand guards. Because sand guards are also pretty strong. For these scores, I mean, strength has got to be high. It's a whole ass castle. Dexterity is going to be super low. Initiative bonus. We'll give it like. No, we'll give it 0. The way I'm imagining this actually being used is it's like behind other enemies. So the players can't just run instantly to it, even if they start before it. So actually, I will give this like a -2. Con score, definitely. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to give it high con because it only has 1 HP, but it also doesn't make sense for it to be like a castle and not a con. I don't know. Intelligence, I mean, it's a castle too. Wisdom 2. Charisma 2. Alright, let's go. We'll change those all up in a second. I'm just quickly filling them out so that we can save it and then go do that encounter. I'm betting 10 GP on the dragon. Oh yeah, we think the dragon's the play. Let's see. Get rid of these guys. Get rid of those guys. So we want a Death Knight. Damn, Sears. Oh, I don't have it apparently. I gotta purchase the monster manual. Unfortunately, no can do. I can add it, I just can't see a stat block. Oh my goodness, it's $60. Get out of here. See, that's the downside. I love D&D Beyond, but the downside is if you have a book in real life, you can't just like upload it and get it in D&D Beyond. You gotta buy it again, and I don't want to do that. But if you have any other thing you want to see fight the dragon, we can give it a go. We can throw the dragon in here. An adult red dragon. Alright. I actually gotta learn what an adult red dragon can do before I run an encounter with it. The digital and hard copy is 60. The digital is only 30. Oh, that's better. I still rather not rebuy a book I already have digitally. I really wish they just let you buy the regular one and have it on D&D Beyond, but they gotta make money somehow, I guess. Alright, so what can a red dragon do? If the dragon fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead. 3 a day or 4 a day in layer. Okay, so it would be 3 a day. Red versus gold adult dragons. We can do that. Okay. So legendary resistance. Cool. Multi-attack. The dragon makes 3 rend attacks. It can replace one attack with the use of spell casting to cast Scorching Ray. Noted. Wish that hardcores had a redeem code or something. That'd be cool. Yeah, man, that would be like epic if they did that. That would be so epic if they did it. So Rend, straightforward is just a hit. Fire Breath. Is a 60-foot cone. It's only going to be one creature, so it's just a DC 21 save. Requires no material components, then using Charisma as a spellcasting ability. AC plus 12 to hit with spell attacks. Oh my goodness. So it can cast. Oh, it's only a second level Scorching Ray. Okay, good to know. And 1 a day of Fireball. Noted, noted. And then legendary actions uses 3 or 4 in a layer, so we'll say 3. It's not going to be fighting in a layer. Dragon uses spellcasting to command. Level 2 version. The dragon can't do his action again until the start of his next turn. Cool. Cast Scorching Ray. Cool. The dragon moves up to half its speed, and it makes 1 rend attack. Okay. Okay, okay. And then we gotta learn what a gold dragon does. Oops. It's not gonna save the encounter now. That's fine. It takes 2 seconds to add it back. Yeah, Scorching Ray is Yeah, Scorching Ray. Is it a first level or second level? I don't know. But the dragon cast it as a second level. Is what it said. I do believe. Anyways, I can double check. Yeah, level 2 version. Or is it saying the level 2 version of Scorching Ray, which would be like a third level spell? I think it means the second level, so just the basic Scorching Ray. And then the adult gold dragon. What do you do? First level is the command. That's second. Gotcha. 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 Yeah, makes sense. Um, See, the hardest part about doing these encounters later on is going to be just learning what each of the monsters do to make sure I actually make like logical choices with their actions. So a gold dragon can breathe air and water, doesn't matter. It can also has legendary resistance, good to know. Same thing, 3 rend attacks can be replaced with spell casting to cast Guiding Bolt. Guiding Bolt has been the meta in our class showdown. So that's hilarious that this hasn't. Um, it actually would do more damage than a rend. Potentially. Okay. Then Fire Breath, same thing, DC 21 save, 12 D10s, cool, cool. At will. Yeah, cast Detect Magic, doesn't matter. Guiding Bolt or Shape Change. None of those are really relevant for what we're doing. I don't think. I don't think it's going to try and change shape mid-combat. I was thinking Burning Hands. Yeah, no, we're talking about Scorching Ray. Um, the Gold Dragon has Guiding Bolt, dude. The Guiding Bolt meta is following us everywhere, man. We can't escape it. Oh, 1 a day, it can do Flame Strike. Ooh. A vertical column of brilliant fire rolls down above. Each creature in 10-foot radius and make a dexterity saving throw or taking 5d6 fire damage. Cool, cool. How are you planning to use legendary actions so they use them after the end of a creature's turn? We might just do exactly that. We might just do a legendary action, then the regular action. Um, I think that's the only way we can do it. That red dragon might be kind of screwed. Hey, man, you never know. The red dragon could pull it off. And the legend banish. One creature in failure. Target becomes incapacitated. Well, this is we might need a veto banish for this encounter. That seems maybe slightly too strong for this type of encounter. Just keep banishing it over and over. I mean, maybe not. It doesn't do much damage. It kind of just makes it skip a turn, and it's a legendary action, so maybe not. Maybe we can go for it. All right. I mean, I can try and run this. Might not be perfect. I probably should spend a bit more time um researching the dragons, but legendary resistance can negate banish. Yeah, they can use their legendary resistance to negate legendary or to negate banish, and banish is a legendary action, so it can't be spammed. So I think that's fair. I mean we can keep it in, and if it's too OP, we can run it back without it. That's one way of doing it. So I think what I'm probably just gonna do, I'm thinking about my so normally I gotta think about my strategy here a bit, because normally with what we're doing in the shorts right now is just bite, claw, whatever. There's no strategy. Here I actually need to consider what the best strategy for these dragons are. I think it's probably just going to be to multi-attack 2 Rens and then a Guiding Bolt for the Gold Dragon. It can do it at will. And then, what? My husky's just sleeping beside me crying. What's wrong? It's okay, doggo. Nope. You want to leave again? She wants to leave again. I give her 60 seconds this time before she's back. You're free. I would leave my door open, but we have renovators at the house right now working on some floors, and I don't want to hear them to hear me shouting in the basement about 2 dragons fighting each other. That would be a bit awkward. They think I'm some sort of psychopath. Okay. If you have a friend that be willing to help, they could play as the monsters. That is true. That is true. Enlist some help. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The meta or so the go-to for the gold dragon will be um guiding bolt and then 2 Rens. Because yeah, like you said, guiding bolt, well, next attack roll against it before the end turn has advantage. So that's the meta for the gold dragon. That will be the go-to. Then for its legendary action, I mean it's just gonna be another probably just banish, to be honest. Though guiding like getting the extra damage from guiding bolt could be good. We'll see. We'll see. It's kind of unfortunate that it doesn't give me the rolls for guiding bolt right here on the page. And my dog wants back in. I told you it'd be 60 seconds. Never mind, she actually wants to go out. Cool. Wow, it's cold outside. My goodness. The doggo is free. She can roam the backyard. Oh my goodness, negative 10 degrees outside right now. Okay. Um, if you have, I think for the Ghost Dragon, yeah. Would you be setting up a virtual tabletop to see the placement of the monsters? Um, for these like short encounters we're doing, no. I am going to be doing like long form videos where we set up actual battle maps and have like larger battles. That's something I'm working on. That's sort of why I was setting up the battle maps yesterday on stream. I got to get around to recording some of those. But for this, no, they'd just be chained up in front of each other, getting ready to fight. Okay. So, hold on first. Let me make sure this is saved. So the red dragon, it will do. mm, I'm thinking it. Well, hold on. So let me check Scorching Ray real quick. I think Scorching Ray is 2d6 fire damage. I think Rend is just better. It doesn't give you any sort of advantage or anything. 2d6 fire damage. Yeah, so I think we're just going to do 3 Rends with the red dragon when his breath is down. But we will definitely want to use Guiding Bolt for the gold dragon. Because Guiding Bolt is strong. After the class character tournament, I have a funny idea. Yeah, what's up? What's your idea? I am always open to ideas. And then, I'm just going to open Guiding Bolt on a separate tab just in case I forget what its dice are mid-run. And then we'll be good to go. Give it a go. Might not be perfect, but I'll give it my best shot. So a Guiding Bolt at level 2 is 5d6 radiant damage. I fear the gold dragon might walk the floor with with the red dragon here. Oh yeah, you're right. They both do have fire immunity, which makes their fire breath useless. So they're just gonna be rending each other. Oh, the gold dragon's about to walk the floor, but who knows? Maybe they'll just miss a bunch. Hunger Games? That's it. How do you envision the Hunger Games working? Like, I set up a battle map and I like create a story and we do it that way? Uh, a, a CR, we could do like a CR0 Hunger Games, the CR1 Hunger Games, the CR2 Hunger Games. All right, let's give this my best go. Oh, and for legendary actions, dude, the Fire Dragon's legendary actions kind of stink. So it does 2d6 fire damage with Scorching Ray if it hits. And what is its plus to hit? Plus 12 to hit with a spell attack. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I'd be down to do a Hunger Games. That's a good idea, man. That is a good idea. And I'll do it before the character class thing ends. Basically, just the way the character showdown tournament's going to work is I'm actually going to do one for each level. So right now it's level 1. And eventually, when this is done, we'll do like a level 2, a level 3, where they get their subclasses and stuff, and so on. And the way it's going to work is like at the end of each tournament, they're going to get points based on where they placed in that tournament. And then when all 20 levels are finally done, we'll tally up the total points and see who like finished on top overall. So that's going to take ages, so we can put other videos like out while that series is also going on. We don't have to wait for the end. But okay, let me give this a go. Um, so just confirm one more time. Scorching Rays 2d6. Scorching Rays 2d6 fire damage. Well, no, Scorching Rays useless because the Gold Dragon's immune to fire damage. So, um, that won't work. I guess it can do command, but what would it command? They can't move. I mean, I guess you could use command. Yeah, command, make it grovel. That could work. Or probably pounce is probably just the best option. Do a rend attack. Because, yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just use legendary action to pounce. Okay. Or else the character classes randomly drops down to level 5, 10 and have to fight to the death. Oh yeah, make alliances and stuff. That could be interesting. We'll like roll dice to determine if like people team up or if they go solo and stuff. That could work. Alrighty, let's do this. Again, this won't be perfect, but let's do it. Watch this epic battle as an adult gold dragon takes on an adult red dragon. We'll start by rolling initiative. The gold dragon gets a 16, the red dragon gets a 9. We'll start with the gold dragon, which is going to try and guiding bolt the red dragon. That will be a 26 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal. Oh, I probably should have prepared this before I started. 5d6 damage. That's a staggering 18 damage to the red dragon. It is now going to perform a rend attack against the red dragon. That's a 26 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 15 damage as the red dragon is immune to the fire damage. It is once again going to perform a final rend attack. That is a 16 to hit. It will not hit. We move on to the red dragon. Oh my goodness, this is hard. We'll start with the red dragon. Is going to start by performing a rend attack against the gold dragon. That is a 32 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 12 damage to the gold dragon. It is going to perform yet another rend attack against this gold dragon. That is a 19 to hit. It will hit, and this time it is going to deal a whopping 9 damage to the gold dragon. We are going to see the red dragon do one final rend attack as it just pounces on this gold dragon. That is another 19 to hit. That will hit, and this time it is going to deal 12 damage to the adult gold dragon. We now move back to the gold dragon. I forgot to do reactions. Legendary actions. So neither of them will do legendary actions. Let's go. I messed it up. Oh my god. The adult gold dragon is. I forgot to do advantage. We gotta restart. I messed it all up. Wait. We gotta run it back. We gotta practice this. I forgot to give it advantage when it hit the guiding bolt, and I forgot to do the legendary actions. We'll get it this time. Slow but surely, we'll get it. Oh, let me take a sip of something to drink here real quick. All right. Here we go again. Take 2. Watch this epic battle as an adult gold dragon takes on an adult red dragon. We'll start by rolling initiative. The gold dragon gets a 17, the red dragon gets a 3. We'll start with the gold dragon, which is going to try a guiding bolt attack against the red dragon. That is a 24 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal a staggering 14 damage to the red dragon. The gold dragon is then going to try and rend the adult red dragon. He will have advantage because of the guiding bolt, and that is still only an 18 to hit. It will not hit. It is once again going to perform a final rend attack, this time as a flat. It is a 30 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal an astonishing 22 damage to this red dragon. We move on to the red dragon, which is going to use a legendary action to try and pounce the adult gold dragon. So it will perform a rend attack. That is a 31 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 17 damage to the gold dragon. We now move on to the red dragon's normal turn, where it's going to perform 3 rend attacks against the adult gold dragon. The first one is a 27 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 13 damage to the gold dragon. It is going to perform a second rend attack. This time it is a 33 to hit. That is going to hit, and this time it will do 14 damage to the gold dragon. And on to the final rend attack. It is a 16 to hit. It will not hit. The gold dragon is going to use a legendary action of its own, and it is going to try and banish the adult red dragon, meaning the adult red dragon needs to make a DC 21 charisma saving throw or be banished. It gets a 20. It does not succeed, meaning it is going to take 3d6 force damage for 8 damage and also be banished. What does banishment do? Basically nothing. I'm just realizing this because now the adult gold dragon can't attack it, so that actually makes no sense. I messed up. We gotta restart. Damn it. I didn't think that one through before I started. Oh no. Hey, third time's the charm's the saying, right? You live and you learn. So the legendary action will just be Guiding Light for the adult gold dragon. So we'll do Guiding Bolt, which will hopefully give it advantage. Then we'll do a Rend. Then we'll do another Guiding Bolt, and then Rend. And then now we're getting there. We're making progress. And Legendary Resistance. Right. Legendary Resistance is a thing. Though now I don't actually think it'll ever be making saving throws because we aren't going to use Banish. Well, no, because if we banish it, if something is banished, it goes to like a different plane, right? Yeah, it's transported to a harmless demi-plane. And if it's transported, that means the gold dragon can't even attack it. So it doesn't get a free turn, it's just a turn of nothingness. they just aren't by each other anymore. So I think the better play is just Guiding Bolts, and then that way maybe gets an extra advantage on its attack roll next turn. So let's do that. The red dragon was killing it there as well. He got off to a strong start. All right. Until the start of the dragon's turn, but that would be... Yeah, so it says until the start of the dragon's turn, but since it's doing this right after the red dragon's turn, it's the gold dragon's turn instantly next. So it doesn't really work because it's until this dragon's turn, not the red dragon's turn. If there was multiple characters, it would work, but since it's just gold dragon right after the red dragon, it doesn't work. Unless, yeah, no, it just doesn't. It won't work properly. That's fine. Take 3. Watch this epic battle as a adult gold dragon takes on an adult red dragon. We'll start by rolling initiative. The gold dragon gets a 16, the red dragon gets a 10. We'll start with the gold dragon, which is going to try and perform a guiding bolt attack against the red dragon. That will be a 18 to hit. It's a plus 13. That's a 19 to hit. That will hit. And it is going to deal a staggering 20 damage to the red dragon. The adult gold dragon is now going to try and run attack the red dragon with advantage because of the guiding bolt. That is a 21 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 20 damage to the red dragon. We are now going to perform one final rend attack here against the adult gold dragon. That will be a 29 to hit. That will hit, and that is a 17 to hit. The adult red dragon is going to respond with a legendary action to pounce against the gold dragon, performing a rend attack. That is a 26 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal a massive 16 damage to the gold dragon. We now move on to the red dragon's turn, where it is going to attempt 3 rend attacks against the gold dragon. The first is a 28 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 14 damage to the gold dragon. We move on to the second rend attack, where it is going to get a 19 to hit. That does hit, and it is going to deal yet another staggering 15 damage to the gold dragon. We move on to the final rend attack of the turn, where it is a 25 to hit. That does hit, and this time it does 14 damage to the gold dragon. The gold dragon is going to respond with a legendary action to cast Guiding Bolt. It is going to get a 28 to hit. That will hit, meaning it will deal a whopping 11 damage to the red dragon and get advantage on his next roll. We now move on to the gold dragon's turn, where it is going to start off by trying a rend attack with advantage against the fire red dragon. That is a 20 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 20 damage to the red dragon. The adult gold dragon is now going to use a guiding bolt yet again as part of its multi-attack. This time it rolls a 31 to hit. That will hit, and this time it is going to deal a outstanding 15 damage to the adult fire dragon. The gold dragon is going to do one final rend attack on the turn. This time it will have advantage yet again due to the guiding bolt. It is going to roll a 25 to hit. That does hit, and it is going to deal more 16 damage. The adult red dragon, once again, going to use this legendary action to pounce, trying to get in a free rend attack. That is a 23 to hit. It does hit, and it is going to deal a whopping 14 damage to the gold dragon. We now move on to the red dragon's full turn, where it is once again going to perform 3 rend attacks against the gold dragon. That is a 17 to hit. It does not hit. We are going to move on to the second rend attack. That one is a 30 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal a massive 17 damage to the adult gold dragon. We move on to the final rend attack of the turn, and that is a 17 to hit. It does not hit. The adult gold dragon, once again, going to use its legendary action to guiding bolt the red dragon. That is going to be a 20 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal a staggering 15 damage to the red dragon. We now move on to the adult dragon's full turn, where it is going to once again start off with a advantaged rend attack. That was not advantage, but it still got a 23, so it hits anyways. We'll ignore that. That is a 16 damage. It is once again going to cast a guiding bolt as part of its multi-attack. This time it will get a 29 to hit. It will hit. This time it will deal an outrageous 15 damage to the red dragon. It will once again perform its final attack of the turn, an advantaged rend, and it is going to get a natural 20 for 34. It will do critical damage, which will result in an outrageous 35 damage to the adult red dragon. The adult red dragon is going to use its final legendary action once again to pounce, attempting a rend attack against the adult gold dragon. That is a 27 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to be able to reply with 17 damage of its own. We now move on to the red dragon's full turn, where it is once again going to do 3 rend attacks. The first is a 33 to hit. That will hit, dealing 18 damage. We move on to the second rend attack, where it is going to be able to pull off its own natural 20, responding in style. It is going to do critical damage, and it is going to reply with 23 critical damage to the adult red gold dragon. It moves on to its final rend attack of the turn. That is a 30 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to be able to pull off 11 damage. The gold dragon going to use its final legendary action to once again use guiding bolt. This time it is going to get a 23 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to be able to deal an outrageous 22 damage to the red dragon. We now move on to the adult gold dragon's full turn, where it is going to start off with an advantaged rend. That is a 23 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 22 damage to the red dragon. The adult gold dragon will be looking to close out the deal here with yet another guiding bolt. It is going to get a 17 to hit. It does not hit. The gold dragon will try and finish him off yet again with a rend. It's a natural one. It does not hit. We move over to the red dragon. No legendary action, so we'll go straight into its regular 3 rend attacks. We're looking to close out the fight here. That is a 22 to hit. It is going to be able to do 10 damage to the gold dragon. We move on to the second rend attack where it is going to be a 19 to hit. That does hit, and it is going to be able to pull off 15 damage to the gold dragon. One final rend attack here for the red dragon. That is a natural one. It does not hit. We'll move back to the gold dragon, which once again does not have a legendary action. It is going to start off by casting Guiding Bolt. That is a 31 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal an outrageous 19 damage to the red dragon. And that is a dead red dragon. End scene. Oh my goodness. That was tough. I thought the red dragon might have made the comeback there when I saw the gold dragon didn't finish it off. Ooh, that was tiring. That battle was crazy, yeah. I think it was also more interesting since they both had immunity to fire, so a bunch of their abilities were useless. Made it more of just a straight brawl. That was that was fun. That was a good one. Okay. Is there any other encounters we want to see done? I don't know how I'm going to fit that into a short, but was that less than 3 minutes? One day we're going to get to a point where dragons are bashing off against each other in the actual series. Legendary actions? No, legendary actions, you get 3 a day, I believe. Oh no, you're right. It regains it all at the start of his turns. Oh wow, I was doing that all wrong. We gotta run it back completely. No, use this 3. Yeah. We did that all wrong. Eh, probably would have been the same result. It would have just benefited the adult dragon even more, or gold dragon even more. Oh, that would be weird. It's gonna use 3 legendary actions after. No, well, it can only use 1. So it can do it every turn, but yeah. That is good to know for the future. That is very good to know. Recharge. I didn't. Oh. I was thinking legendary resistance is 3 a day. I see. I done did a confusion. Okay. Um, good to know. So, any other encounters we want to see, or should we go back to homebrewing our sandcastle? Ugh. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy when we actually get to this point and we start seeing these guys going. Maybe a giant versus a dragon? Sure. Do you have a preference on the dragon? Or the giant for that matter? I think there's a few giants now. A knight versus a demon? Oh, we throwing out ideas here. We could do that. We could do that. We could do like a for the giant versus the dragon. We could do potentially a storm dragon or a storm giant. Ooh, giants putting damage. Ooh, demon lord versus chromatic. I gotta make sure I have all these things on D&D Beyond. Um, because I don't have many source books on D&D Beyond. Yeah, we don't even have. We don't even have demons. We homebrewed our own demon, but we don't have an actual demon here. Storm Dragon, Storm Giant versus Black Dragon. We can do that. That sounds like a good matchup. Storm Giant, and we'll throw in a Black Dragon. All right, let's see what these guys can do now. So we've got Storm Giant. Breathe water and air, that's fine. Giant makes 2 attacks using Storm Sword or Thunderbolt on any combination. Gotcha. So Storm Sword is just a melee attack, ranged attack. So it just want to, for this, it'd want to use Storm Sword because it has 1 higher average damage. Or, well, this blinds and deafens it until the start of the Giant's next turn. That's actually really strong. It might want to throw in Thunderbolt. Then Lightning Storm. Ooh, it's a recharge. Does 10? Oh my goodness. That's pretty crazy. And this thing isn't. Oh, the Storm Giant's going to pump numbers. Wait, no, Demons, don't you have the Monster Manual? No, I have the 2014 Monster Manual, I think. Do I even have the 2014 Monster Manual? I'm not even sure. Um, Wait, no. No, I don't even. Yeah, no, no demons available. I do not have it. Some Monster Manual ones are just um, free to use, but not demons. I don't have the 2024 version. I thought I maybe had the 2014 version, but I don't have that either, apparently. Oh, am I filtering as beast? Oh, 1 second. Am I being... I'm not, but maybe I can try. Um, Here, let me get rid of the source and just search demon. Um, I mean, lesser demon, that's the Humblewood campaign. Shadow demon, no. Yeah, no. But we can start with the Storm Giant first. This seems like it's going to be a good battle anyways. So we got... I think the play here is honestly, since we don't have disadvantage for being in melee range, because they're always in melee range in this, I think Thunderbolt is probably going to be the play here. Just 2 Thunderbolts, or 1 Thunderbolt, and then if it hits, do a Storm, just for the 1 extra average damage, but applying the blind and deaf condition is pretty strong. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. That's going to be super strong. Okay. That's basically all this guy's going to do, to be honest. Just Thunderbolts, and then maybe do... We probably want to get it to try and do Lightning Storm and see if it, whenever it recharges, right? Oh, they have names. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. All right, I can check that after this then. We can see if we can run some demons. All right, so I think the Storm Giant's play is going to be Lightning Storm whenever it's available. Whenever it's not available, Thunderbolt. Now for the Black Dragon, it has legendary resistance. So, ooh, it's actually going to be able to resist the Lightning Storm. I'm still going to do Lightning Storm because the Storm Giant doesn't know that the Adult Dragon is going to do that. So it'll still act as if it doesn't have resistance. And then the Adult Black Dragon. The dragon makes 3 rend attacks. It can replace one of the attacks with the use of spellcast and cast Melf's Acid Arrow. I don't think I've ever used this spell. And hit the target takes 4d4 acid damage and 2d4 acid damage at the end of its turn. Ooh. Ooh, that's interesting. Alrighty. I'm going to open that in another tab so I don't forget that mid-run. That actually seems like it could be useful. Alrighty. So let me open that quickly. Cool. Most acid arrow. That's open so I don't forget. And it said to do it at the 3rd level version, which means it does 1d4. Increase by 1d4 for each spell slot on level 2. Okay, so we'll do 5d4 damage, then 3d4 acid damage on the end of its next turn. Or the target's next turn. Okay. Ooh, the dragon does have blind sight. Hmm. But I think it still affects its attacks looking at this. Hmm. Unless I'm misreading this. At least by the book, it seems like your attack rolls would still be affected. Your blind sight would solve the can't see portion of this, but not the attacks affected portion. But I feel like logically, blind sight would fix all of this. If I were making a DM call, I'd say blind sight completely negates the blinded condition. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just say it negates it. Because if you can see when you're blind, then why would you get a disadvantage from being blind? Unless there's any objections, I think that's what I'll do. Just blinding won't affect the dragon. Though again, the Storm Giant won't know that, so it's still going to cast this. Actually, the Storm Giant's pretty damn smart. It's a 16. So maybe after it does it once, it will learn not to do it again. Okay. Good to know, good to know. So, the play here will be Acid Breath whenever it's recharged. Um, yeah, and success is half damage. So whenever Acid Breath is available, we do that. When it's not, I think we do 2 Rends and an Acid Arrow. In terms of legendary actions, Cloud of Insects. Oh, wow. I think this Black Dragon might be about to put in work. That's a strong legendary action. Though if it succeeds, it does no damage. But, we'll see how it goes. Okay. Might need to do a couple takes here again, but I think we're good to try. See how it goes. Let me just get a drink in real quick. All right, let's do this. Watch this epic battle as an adult black dragon takes on a storm giant. We'll start by rolling initiative. The dragon gets a 6. The storm giant gets a 6. We'll start with the dragon. The dragon is going to start off by doing a rend attack against the storm giant. That is a 14 to hit. It will not hit. It will once again go to try a rend attack against the storm giant. That will hit, this time dealing 11 damage plus 5 acid damage for a total of 16 damage to the storm giant. Yes. It is then going to perform an acid arrow attack. That is going to be a... I should have checked this before we started. Plus 9. 27 to hit. 25 to hit. 25 to hit. That will hit. And it is going to deal 5d4 acid damage. Oh my goodness, we did not prepare enough for this. That is 12 extra damage to the storm giant. We now move on to the storm giant. The storm giant is going to try... Oh, wait, no, I already messed up. Oh, dude, I already messed up. I didn't use the breath. I was supposed to use the breath to start. Take two. Take two. Run it back. Tell you what. Doing these encounters is going to make me know all about monsters. I'm going to know every monster in the game and what attacks they do and whatnot. Oh, okay. I should just start off by using its breath. And this should start off by using its lightning storm. Which, by the way, crazy damage just on a separate note. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's try this again. Watch this epic battle as an adult black dragon takes on a storm giant. We'll start by rolling initiative. The storm giant gets a 17. The black dragon gets an 8. We'll start with the storm giant, which is going to try a lightning storm attack against the black dragon, forcing it to make a DC 18 dexterity saving throw. The black dragon is going to be able to only muster up a 12 on its saving throw, meaning it is going to be taking a staggering 46 damage. We now move on to the adult black dragon, which is going to start by responding with a legendary action of Cloud of Insects, forcing the storm giant to make its own dexterity saving throw of DC 17. The storm giant is going to be able to muster up a 9. That will not succeed, meaning it is going to take 21 damage. We now move on to the adult black dragon, which is going to try and use its acid breath against the storm giants, forcing it to make yet another dexterity saving throw, this time of DC 18. The storm giant is going to be able to muster up a 5, nowhere near enough, meaning it is going to take an outrageous 67 damage. We now move back to the storm giant, which is first going to try and recharge his lightning storm. It will not recharge his lightning storm, meaning it is going to start off by doing a thunderbolt attack against the black dragon. That's a natural 20 to hit. That is going to deal a staggering 37 damage to the adult black dragon and apply the blinded and deafened conditions. However, the adult black dragon has blind sight, so it will not be affected. The storm giant is now going to try a storm sword attack That is a 30 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 21 damage plus additional 20 lightning damage. We now move on to the Adult Black Dragon, which is going to use a legendary action, once again forcing the Storm Giant to make a DC 17 Dexterity saving throw. The Storm Giant will not be able to succeed, meaning it is going to take an additional 19 damage. We now move on to the Adult Black Dragon's regular turn, where it is going to try a rend attack against the Storm Giant. That is a 24 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal a whopping 17 damage to the Storm Giant. It is once again going to do a rend attack. It is another 17 to hit. That will hit. It is going to deal an additional 9 damage. It is now once again going to try and cast its Acid Arrow. However, the Acid Arrow did not do damage at the end of the Storm Giant's last turn, so we'll do that now. It is 3d4 damage. That will be 8 damage to the Storm Giant. The Adult Blood Dragon will now try and recast the Acid Arrow this turn. That is going to be a 25 to hit yet again, meaning it will hit and it will deal 5d4 damage for a total of 15 damage to the Storm Giant. We also didn't recharge his breath. Oh no, it didn't recharge anyways. We're all good. We can keep going. We move back to the Storm Giant. We're just going to try and recharge its thunder, its lightning storm. Oh my goodness, I messed this up so bad. Hold on, I didn't use legendary resistance for the lightning storm. Oh my goodness. It's so hard. You're trying to go so quick and there's so much it can do. We messed it up royally. Hold on. Hold on. I forgot to keep track of the acid arrows damage at the end of the turn as well. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Man. It's all good. You live and you learn. Okay. Take a quick breather here. Let it come back to us. Also, the damage from Rend, you're right. I'm used to the fire giants where they just weren't doing the acid damage. Oh my goodness. There's so much to keep track of, and you're going so quick. Okay. Ooh. Take 3. Gotta lock it in here. This is the one. This is the money one. Watch this epic battle as an adult black dragon takes on a storm giant. We'll start by rolling initiative. The storm giant gets a 21. The adult black dragon gets a 4. We'll start with the storm giant, which is going to try a lightning storm against the adult black dragon, forcing it to make a DC 18 dexterity saving throw. That is a 12 on the dexterity saving throw. However, the adult black dragon will use its legendary resistance to succeed the saving throw, meaning it will only take half the damage from the lightning storm, which will result in 27 damage. Quick math. I'm a genius. We now move on to the Adult Black Dragon, which is going to respond with a legendary action, forcing the Storm Giant to do a DC 17 dexterity saving throw. The Storm Giant is going to be able to muster up a 5. It will not succeed, meaning it is going to take a whopping 22 damage. We now move on to the Adult Black Dragon's turn, which is going to start off with a rend attack against the Storm Giant. That is a 27 hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal a 9 damage to the Storm Giant. However, it will also deal an additional 6 acid damage. It will once again perform a second rend attack. This time it is a 20 hit. That will hit. It is going to deal 13 damage to the Storm Giant, plus the additional 6 acid damage. Finally, it is going to try and cast its Melf's Acid Arrow against the Storm Giant. That is a 22 to hit. It will hit, meaning it is going to take 5d4 damage for a total of 12 damage. We now move on to the Storm Giant. The Storm Giant is going to try and recharge its Lightning Storm. It will recharge the Lightning Storm, and it is going to use it yet again, making the Adult Black Dragon have to make a Dexterity 18 saving throw. It is able to get a 15. It will not succeed, but it will use its second Legendary Resistance charge for the day to once again succeed, making it take half damage, resulting in an outrageous, just outrageous 36 damage. We now will do the 3d4 damage at the end of the Storm Giant's turn because of the Acid Arrow, and it is going to take an additional 11 damage. We now move back to the Adult Black Dragon, which is going to once again force the Storm Giant to make a Dexterity 17 saving throw. The Storm Giant is going to succeed on the Dexterity saving throw, meaning it will take no damage from the cloud of insects. We now move on to the Adult Black Dragon's regular turn, where he's going to try a rend attack against the Storm Giant. That's a 14 to hit. It will not hit. We are going to move on to the second rend attack. That is a natural 20, meaning it will do critical damage. It is going to deal 14 damage to the Storm Giant, plus an additional 5 acid damage. Finally, the Adult Black Dragon is once again going to try and cast Melf's Acid Arrow. It is going to get a 12 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the Storm Giant, which is going to try and cast or recharge Lightning Storm yet again. That does not succeed, and I'm realizing I fucked this up yet again because the Adult Black Dragon could have been using its breath, and it didn't use its breath. My bad. My bad. My goodness. Attempt 4 will be the final attempt. Surely. We're getting there. It was better that time. It was a bit slower pace because I had to think about what I was doing, which isn't ideal. I want to keep it snappy. But at least we're doing things properly besides the dragon's breath. You gotta be perfect. You can't be messing anything up. You gotta make sure it's totally fair. Take 4, take 4. The director is not going to be happy with our performance here. He might be looking for a new actor. Okay. Surely this is the one. This is the one where it all goes right. Watch this epic battle as an Adult Black Dragon takes on a Storm Giant. We'll start by rolling initiative. The Storm Giant gets a 17. The Black Dragon gets a 4. We'll start with the Storm Giant, which is going to try a Lightning Storm attack against the Adult Black Dragon, forcing the Adult Black Dragon to make a DC 18 Dexterity saving throw. It will be able to get a 12. However, it will use its first Legendary Resistance to succeed the saving throw, meaning it will only take half damage. It will still take a staggering 27 damage. Yeah, I gotta get better at math to do this. And now move on to the Adult Black Dragon, which is going to use a legendary action to cast Cloud of Insects, forcing the Storm Giant to make a DC 17 Dexterity saving throw. The Storm Giant is going to succeed with a 21, meaning it will not take any damage. The Adult Black Dragon is going to then use its Acid Breath against the Storm Giant. That will be a 56 to hit. If the Storm Giant does not succeed on its DC 18 Dexterity saving throw, it does not. It will take 56 damage. We now move on to the Storm Giant, which is going to try to recharge its Lightning Storm. It will recharge the Lightning Storm, so it will once again use Lightning Storm against the Adult Black Dragon, forcing it to make a DC 18 dexterity saving throw. It will get a 4, but it will use its second charge of legendary resistance to once again force a success, meaning the Storm Giant's damage will do 33 damage to the Black Dragon. We now move on to the Black Dragon, which is once again going to use its legendary action to force the Storm Giant to make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw, which it will not succeed, meaning it is going to take a massive 25 damage. We now move on to the Adult Black Dragon's turn, where it is going to try and recharge its breath. It will not be able to recharge its breath, so it is going to perform a rend attack. That is a 16 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 13 damage to the Storm Dragon. It is now going to perform a second rend attack. That is a 15 to hit. It will not hit. It is actually going to go ahead and perform a third rend attack, and that is a natural 20. That is going to deal critical damage for a whopping 20 damage plus an additional 2 acid damage for a total of 22 damage. It is also going to do acid damage for the first attack, and that is 7 damage. We now move back to the Storm Giant, which is going to try and recharge this Lightning Storm yet again. It does not succeed. It is going to go ahead and do a Storm Sword attack against the Adult Black Dragon. That is a 29 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal a staggering 26 damage plus an additional 12 lightning damage. It will now attempt yet another Storm Sword attack. This time it is a 19 to hit, which does hit, and it is going to deal another staggering 21 damage to this Black Dragon and an additional 8 lightning damage. We now move back to the Adult Black Dragon, which is once again going to use its legendary action to force a DC 17 saving throw out of the Storm Giant. That is a 13. It will not save. The Storm Giant is going to need to take an outrageous 22 damage. We now move on to the Adult Black Dragon's regular turn, where it is going to try and recharge its Acid Breath. It does successfully recharge its Acid Breath, and it is going to go ahead and use that instantly, forcing a DC 18 saving throw out of the Storm Giant. The Storm Giant will only be able to muster up a 12, meaning it is going to take the full, outrageous 50 damage from the Adult Black Dragon. We now move back to the Storm Giant, which is going to try and recharge its Lightning Storm. That is a 3. It will not recharge, meaning it is going to go ahead and use its Storm Sword attack against the Adult Black Dragon. That is a 29 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal a staggering 28 damage to the Adult Black Dragon, plus an additional 18 lightning damage. But the Storm Giant is done there. It is going to try and finish off the Black Dragon here with one final Storm Sword attack. It will succeed, and it is going to deal only a measly 16 damage. However, it has its bonus lightning damage, and it is going to be able to deal 14 additional damage. And that is a dead Adult Black Dragon. Oh, what do we think about that? Did I mess anything up there? Did we do good? I forgot to count the acid damage from one of the rends, so I had to like do it retroactively, which was a bit weird and messed up the pacing. But it was definitely we got there at least. our best attempt yet at this. Getting better. Oh man, these are hard. Alrighty. I think we are. I think we're good for this. Really good fight, man. Keep it up. Thank you. All right. And we can look up these demons now that you were speaking about. Let's search for. Do you have a specific demon you want me to do? Oh, you gotta go though. See you next time. Yeah, man. No worries. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your day, man. I think we'll go back to doing our homebrewed creations for a bit then. Take a bit of a break from these encounters. We can circle back to them. Where is our sandcastle now? Here's our sandcastle. So what we can go ahead and do here, where we left off, so sand defenders at the start of the sandcastle's turn, it spawns a sand guard. Um, Frankly, that might be all it does. Maybe it has its own action. All right, man. Demon Fall under has some subcategory. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Appreciate it, man. Have a good rest of your day. Okay, so should it have an action? Uh, um, I feel like it. I feel like it needs some sort of action. Just to do anything really. But we also, it's only CR1, so we don't want to make it too powerful. I think it just the trait is good enough. So honestly, I think that's all there is to this. Yeah, and its movement, it can't move. It's going to be stationary. So honestly, its dexterity should be a 1. Cool. I think that's an interesting idea, right? Just like a spawner, basically. If D&D wants to save what we're doing. Perfect, perfect. Cool. So let's start brainstorming some other homebrew ideas, shall we? I'm thinking, what could we do? What could we do? It needs to be CR1. Admittedly, the Sandcastle won't be great for the series we're doing, but we'll still do it. I mean, we could take the cheap route and do like a giant Dominion or something, right? Um, Honestly, I might just do that, a giant Dominion. Bring back the pizza. Yeah, you know what? Let's try that. Why not? Um, Sorry, just give me one extra second here. Cool. So yeah, let's do a giant Dominion. I know it's kind of like a cheap way out. You just making something giant, but it works, and I'm out of brain power. So let's do this while we try and come up with other ideas. So we'll create a monster. This will be based off of our Dominion. There we go. And then we can do Giant Dominion. Version 1. Challenge rating will be 1. Dominion makes 2 cheese slap attacks. That's hilarious. I'm just imagining it with a big slice of cheese. Okay. So we'll want to bump up the damage for this since it is now a CR1. It will get a plus. I think we give it a, hold on, a +5 on the pepperoni toss. I don't want to get, apparently the regular one has a +4 on the cheese slap. I feel like that shouldn't be the case. That may be a bit of a balancing issue. But that's okay. So pepperoni toss is a +5. We'll make it do a D8 plus 2 for the giant version. Um, oh, there's also an issue. Oh, I'm noticing issues with the regular one. We'll go fix that afterwards. But, so, pepperoni toss, plus 5. We gotta do plus 5 here. And then, 1d8 plus 2, 1d8 plus 2, pepperoni toss, fire damage. Sweet! We got a giant pizza roaming around. Now, for the cheese slap, it is a melee attacker roll, plus 5 to hit. That's correct. It will deal. See, this is all wrong. This is a multi attack, so we'll do 1d6 plus 1. And again, it will do fire damage because this pizza is hot. Cool. So let's save this for a second and go fix the regular version of this before we forget. Then we'll circle back to the giant version again and set all its attributes and health and whatnot. No, my homebrew creations. Honestly, we could do a stream where we just go through other people's homebrew creations and like pick out ones we like and include them in our series. But let's fix up the Dominion real quick. So I noticed issues with the rolls. First off, this should be a +4, just for balancing reasons. And I have it doing 1d4 plus 2, but here it does 1d6 plus 2. It should be 1d4 in both spots. And this should be a 1d6. It's doing 1d8. But also, pepperoni toss is only one attack, so I'm going to make it a +2 here. There we go. That should fix the issues I was seeing. So we can save that and then go back to the giant version. I just wanted to do that before I forgot about it. All right. So let's go back to my creations. And we can pull out the giant Dominion. Okay, so right off the bat, this should be medium now. I almost want to give it a trait to make it more unique. What if we call, I have an idea. So it's gonna have a trait called "That's a spicy pizza," and it'll be when a melee attack roll misses the giant pizza, or when a hold on, let's reword this. A target, or maybe we make this a reaction. Ooh, let's think about it. So basically, what it's gonna do, that's a spicy pizza. When you miss an attack, the pizza will be able to cause you fire damage, kind of like you hit it and you burn yourself. Let's make it a reaction. You know what? We haven't made one with a reaction yet. Let's do that. When a target misses the giant Dominion, when the target misses a melee attack, the giant Dominion can burn the enemy. It can burn the target, causing, and then we'll add in something here. Maybe we just do a D4 because it's like an every turn reaction. Um, 5, reelection. Yeah, fire axe. Okay, so that should work. This should not be cheese slap anymore. It should be that's a spicy pizza. And that should work. I'm going to save this quickly and go add it to an encounter, make sure it works how we're expecting it to. So, let's add a giant dominion. And we should see, there you go, perfect. 1d6 plus 1. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And, oh no, it's not, it shouldn't be a d6, it should be a d4. But that's just because I put in the wrong number. But okay. And they should both be plus 5s. Perfect. Perfect, okay. So let's just change that from a d6 to a d4. And I don't even think we give it a plus 1, I think it's just a d4. Straight up. Oh, sorry, I'm in my encounters again. My brain stopped braining. So a giant dominion, a giant dominion. Here you go. The creative juices are kind of flowing again. So we'll just do 1d4, no plus. There we go. Cool. So we can save that. Now we gotta set its attributes. Do that. Let's think about this. So again, it is a CR1, so it's not gonna be crazy. Wait, did I give my regular pizza 20 hit points? 20 hit points on a CR1 2 is kind of crazy, no? That might be a bit OP. We might need to do a balancing pass on the base version of this, but um, because I was gonna say this version should have 20 HP. Because let me double check. I'm not mistaken here, but I believe other CR1s tend to have around that 20 HP mark. Again, it doesn't have to be like ultra super duper balanced, but I'd like it to be pretty well balanced. Let me get an example of a CR1 here, which a bear is a good example. A brown bear has, yeah, 22 HP. Okay, so we're going to need to nerf the original Dominion a bit here. But I think this will have a flat 20 HP. It will get an armor class of 13. And other than that, it will be a bit stronger because it's giant, so we'll give it an 8. Constitution will stay at 14. I think we're going to nerf that over on the regular one. And then, yeah, it's just pizza, so it has nothing else. Cool. So we'll save that. And in movement, we'll just make it a bit quicker, the giant version. We'll make it 25, just so people don't kite it as easily, if people want to do their kiting. I don't get why people kite in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, it's just not fun, is it? Anyways. Now let's go nerf the regular Dominion. It was too powerful. For the Dominion, what did we make the Dominion? Did we make it a 1-4 or a 1-2? Um, we made it a 1-2. Okay, so it doesn't need to be nerfed too hard, but it's a bit too strong. We'll give it 16 HP here, I think. Or maybe 14. 14 is more fair. We'll give a con of, um, we'll do 12. That's more fair in my opinion. And then we have to ask the question, does the regular pizza get that the spicy pizza? I think it does. And I think what I might do is make it 1d4 here and 1d6 in the giant version. That's actually exactly what I'm going to do. So let's go to the giant dominion. Head to this guy. Okay, so it is going to do 1d6, just a flat d6. Dude, imagine a giant pizza goes on a tear in our series. That would be hilarious. And then we'll go, ooh, did I copy that? I could copy that real quick. And we'll just copy this and make it do a D4 on the not giant version of the pizza. And then 1d4. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Cool. And then sweet. All right, yeah, I think everything's good here. Our regular Dominion is a bit more balanced, and we created the giant Dominion. Um, so yeah, we got pepperoni toss, which is its ranged attack, D4, or sorry, +4 to hit, a D6, and then we have cheese slap, which is using the multi attack. It gets a 1d4 +2, and there's both fire damage. And then that's the spicy pizza. When a target misses the attack, it can do 1d4 damage against it. Or, well, try to do. It's got to roll to hit first, of course. So cool, 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 cool whip. Now we need to come up with another cool idea. And this is where we start to struggle. I don't have many cool ideas. Um, let's think about this. Again, my brain is just so winter right now. What if we do? Mm, it's tough, man. What if we do? I was thinking earlier. I'm thinking about a were something, or like we could do a type of dragon. We were talking about that. Let's think about the type of dragon we do. What type of dragon would we want to do? My mind instantly goes to like an ice cream dragon, but we already have a snowman, ice cube. It doesn't matter. What about a banana split dragon? And the body of the dragon is the banana. What do you think about that? And it can, its breath can be like the chocolate sauce or whatever. Hey, you know what? Let's do that. We'll do banana split dragons. All right. So let me pull up dragons. It will be in similar strength to normal dragons. Um, and so let me get a sense of what other dragons' strength is. Um, so let's take I don't know, let's take the red dragon as an example. So you start off with There's a red dragon. Okay, so we have our, what are the stages? You have a a red dragon wyvern, a young red dragon, an adult red dragon, and an ancient red dragon. All right, so we'll start with the red dragon wyvern, which is still way too strong for a CR1, mind you. But we'll start with that. Doesn't matter. We'll have a CR4 ready to rock and roll when we get there. So yes, the banana split dragon will be made. And Ula, apologies if I said your name wrong, with the sub. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, man. I appreciate you. It is very much appreciated. So use the red dragon wire wormling as a start for our banana split dragon. God, I could go for a banana split right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Dragon. There we go. Cool. So the size will be medium. Alignment. Should a banana split dragon be chaotic evil? I don't think so. I feel like a banana split is pretty neutral. You can kind of have it whenever. Okay. Then we'll add a bit of spice to our dragon. So instead of rend, what do we do? Banana slap. Melee attack roll. It can basically do the same damage for now. So off the bat, we gotta do banana slap and banana slap, and it should be one more spot. Banana slap. This is obviously going to deal cold damage. Cool. So fire breath. It won't be fire breath. It'll be like mm, chocolate syrup breath. Chocolate syrup breath. This is so stupid. Um, chocolate syrup breath. Dexterity 7 through 13. You should did this. 76. Fire breath. It will be chocolate syrup breath. Doesn't need to be bold or italic. Roll damage, cold, rollable cold damage. Cool. And we can adjust like the stats and everything of it afterwards. Actually, we can do that now. We're basically done. So let's just save our changes here. And our banana split dragon is created. Or at least the wyvern. If it wants to save, that is. There we go. It saves when it does that. I'm pretty sure. So let's add it to an encounter and make sure it works, even if its attributes aren't exactly how we want right now. So we should have a banana split. Oh, get rid of these filters. A banana split dragon wireling. Awesome. Let's save this and let's make sure its character sheet is working as expected. So we have a banana slap. Oh, and it says make 2 run attacks. We'll fix that. Make 2 banana slap attacks. Yeah, other than that, it's all good. So 14, and this should do cold damage. Yeah, cool. And then this should do 76. Awesome. Okay, so let's fix the spelling error in multi-attack. Or, not really a spelling error, but you know what I mean. We're getting to the point where we have so many creations that I need to start searching for them. We've been putting in work the last few days. I think tomorrow we might do um homebrew items potentially instead of homebrew um characters or monsters. That's what I'm thinking. Potentially. Maybe. If you guys think that's a cool idea. Because obviously I do a lot of stuff around encounters and monsters, but we can also do other things. It doesn't need to be monsters, so I'm thinking we do items tomorrow. Anyways, what we can do is fix this so you make 2 banana slaps. Banana slap attacks. Save that, and then we can get on to its attributes. Oh, and also tomorrow's stream, we should do that where we go through the community creations and find homebrews we like. That could be a cool stream as well. Which I think we are probably going to do actually now that I think about it. But anyways, let's focus on today. Um yeah. Sorry, I was just checking something. Alright, sweet. So we're on to its attributes. Honestly, I don't even know if we change anything here. Well, it won't have fire immunity. It will have cold immunity. And you know what? Just to spice things up, make it a bit different than other dragons, I think we'll give it a fire vulnerability. Conditions. It is going to be. I guess you can do it. Can you restrain ice cream though? Is that possible? I'm not sure if that's possible. And instead of being in a hill and mountain, it will be in a mountain in Arctic. Matter of fact, it will only be in the Arctic. Cool. And yeah, we can come back and adjust that stuff afterwards. Let's just try and get the banana split in and all of its stages created here. So we did the wyverning, now we need the 3 other dragon stages for the banana split dragon. And we can move on to something different. If it wants to save, of course. Does it ever want to save is the question. I don't know that it does. There we go. All right, so now what I should do is open this in a different tab so it's easy to copy and paste from. Let me do that now. Um, cool. So now we can make our next stage of the banana split dragon. So for this, it will be a based off a young red dragon, just so that we get roughly the right, stats and health and whatnot. Again, we'll adjust them a bit when we're done, but so it'll be a young banana split dragon. Cool. So again, this will be banana slap. Make this banana slap, and I should probably just copy and paste it. As I don't do that. Let me actually do what I just said. No, that didn't work. Alrighty. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I gotta get a new mouse. It double clicks all the time. Yeah. Alright, so banana slap, one more spot, banana slap. Cool, cool. It does cold damage, not fire damage. Cool, cool. So banana slap, cold, cold. Down here, this is our chocolate syrup breath. Cool, cool. Again, this is going to be cold, not fire. And something else I want to do, once we're done making all the stages, I want to add like a unique trait to our banana split dragon to differentiate it from the others a bit. And also we're going to obviously need to figure out its legendary actions for the older stages, which will be unique, add some flavor to it so it's not just the same thing named differently, you know? Ooh, chocolate syrup breath. I don't know. I still think the dough minion might be our best enemy. That one's really funny. I think the sunflower is pretty awesome. I think the ice cube is pretty awesome. But I think I'm preferential to the dough minion. I just like the idea of a pizza beating the shit out of you. like, uh. Again, we'll adjust all this once we just get them in. Um, Give it fire vulnerability and cold immunity. Cool. Yeah. See, because the fire immunity nerfs the dragon a bit, or sorry, the fire vulnerability nerfs the dragon a bit, because all the other dragons don't have vulnerabilities. So we're gonna make up for that nerf by giving it a trait, which adds to its strength. Um, but cool. Let's create the next stage of our monster here, which will be the adult banana split dragon. Adult banana split dragon. Oh, I forgot. It's chaotic evil. We'll make that neutral here, but I forgot to do that in the other spot. We can do that after. Okay, the dragon makes 3 banana slap attacks. I can replace one attack with the use of spell casting. Okay, so this is where we need to decide what spells our banana split dragon is going to be able to cast. And I say we homebrew a spell for it. That's what I think. So let's leave Scorching Ray for now, because once we adjust this, we'll go make the homebrewed spell for our dragon. So we'll circle back. And this is Banana Slap. We're kind of just doing the grunt work right now, updating the name and everything. I also realized I might miss a spot here on the other dragons, but that's okay. syrup breath. Dexterity saving throw. It should be cold damage. And this is chocolate syrup breath. And this is cold and cold. And then, yeah, we got to come up with the spells and everything in a second here. So before we do the spells and its legendary actions and everything, this is where we really get to flavor our dragon, different from the rest of them. Oh, I got added immunities. Let me do that before I forget. And I also need to go back and fix a mistake in the previous age. So, gonna have fire vulnerability, cold immunity. Only be from the Arctic. And then, let's go fix the previous version. So, young banana split dragon. Oh, you did update here. Banana slap. Okay. No, we're good. So, now we need to create the Elder Banana Split Dragon. Then we'll deal with all the spells and stuff. I just want to get all the stages made so they're ready to go. Or the Ancient, not Elder. Ancient Banana Split Dragon. And then again, the trait Legendary Resistance. I mean, it will just be Legendary Resistance, but we'll add our flavor in a moment. So multi-attack. The dragon makes 3 banana slap. You can replace one attack with the use of spellcast and you cast Scorching Ray. We'll update that in a moment. This should be banana slap. And then we just got to update his name a bunch of times. Banana slap. Should be one more spot here. Banana slap. And then banana slap. This should all be cold damage. Here, chocolate syrup breath. Oops, totally enough on breath. Global recharge for the 6. Dice notion, 1d6, da 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 da. Chocolate syrup breath. And this is cold damage. And then it's spells, which we will handle in a moment. Okay. So, 1 second, let's do this real quick over here. And then all of our stages of our Banana Split Dragon are completed. Now we can actually go ahead and add some flavor to our dragon, make it feel different than the rest of the dragons, which would be real nice. Manny with the subscription to the channel. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day. All right, so let's handle flavoring our dragons up first. Are the oh my goodness, I can't speak. Let's handle flavoring our dragons a bit. Now, I said each one of our dragons, the banana split dragons, will have a unique trait. So again, they are vulnerable to fire, unlike other dragons that just have immunity. They have a vulnerability, so we're going to make up for that vulnerability by giving them a trait, and that just adds a bit of flavor to it, I think. Um, and this trait will be on every dragon, I believe, so that we can just go to the wormling and start with it. Now, the hard part, we got to think about a cool trait for this. So, what do we do here? We can do a do, do, how would we feel about what could a trait for this be? Um, we could make it similar to um another creature we made where if it's like the snowman heals if it's actively snowing. Maybe for the banana split, we say if it wasn't hit by fire last turn, it heals. I think that's what we can do. Sorry, get a message about dogs. 1 second. Gotta let the dogs in. I'll just leave the door open a bit if they want to come. Okay. Um. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll call it refreeze. Oh, wait, that's not how you format it at all. I was just going off and doing my own thing. If the split, we should capitalize this. 1 second. 1 second, guys. I'm still here. We're just gonna. Um. Okay. Then we need to make a heal. That can just be a rollable. What is this? Hold on. We've done healing before. Hold on, let me check how we do healing for this now. See how it goes. And we're back. Let me check the snowman at different tabs here. We have the heals for it. Oh man. This is how you do a heal. There we go. Action will be refreeze. And then yeah, the Warbling will start with a 1d4 and we'll go up from there, I think. Maybe a 1d6. I mean, it is a challenge rating 4. Let's do a 1d6. And then this will just improve on each of them. So let's go copy and paste this into all of our different types. Okay. That's better saved. Let's make sure that's saved. Yes, yes it did. Okay. So we'll just go through and add that to all of them and make it slightly stronger each time. There we go. So for this one, we'll get a 1d8 on its heel. Then a 1d10, then a 1d12, I think is what we'll do. Cool. Resistance, and it also gets this. 1d10. And then we'll do 1d12 for the ancient. Okay. So that is its unique trait done. Adds a bit of flavor. And again, it's vulnerable to fire. Basically, we're just saying enemies, players should use fire to kill. Maybe I get rid of the vulnerability to fire. Because that kind of is vulnerable. Let's do that. Now I gotta go through each of these and do that. Okie dokie. Now we just gotta go through each of them and get rid of that vulnerability. That shouldn't take too long. With the ancient, we can do it here. Very exciting stuff, I know. Cool. But it has a unique trait, adds a bit of flavor, and then I think we're gonna homebrew the spells for it as well. So instead of just using pre-existing spells, we'll make like an ice cream based spells it can use. I don't know. That will probably be the play. Yeah, let's do vulnerability. I think we missed the young one. Now we can work on homebrewing the spells for this thing, which is going to be the fun part. No, this should also be neutral. Cool. Now, I've actually never homebrewed a spell before, so I don't actually fully know what I'm doing here. So this is gonna be double fun. Dokie. Let's. Sorry, just checking something here real quick. So create a spell. What should we base this off of? Oh, you know what we could do? We could do Scorching Ray as the base. Cool. We'll call this ice cream or ice cream catapult. Is that how you spell catapult? I don't even know. Um, yes, that is. Cool. Version 1. Spell level. We'll do third. No, second. Action. Yes, yes. No materials required. That's all fine. Okay. 3 scoops of ice cream. You can hold them on one target within range or make several. Make a range spell attack. Take 2d6 cold damage. Oh. I just thought of something cool. Also, 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, I just thought of something cool. What if you fire 3 scoops of ice cream? What if each of the different scoops is a different flavor, which makes it do different elemental damage? It's like the vanilla could be cold damage. The strawberry, I don't know, it's red. It could be fire damage. Does that make sense? But I mean, you're shooting ice cream, right? I feel like that would be cool for something else if it weren't ice cream. Yeah, I don't think that'll work. Is that even? Am I stupid right now? I was putting scope instead of scoop. Oopsies. There we go. Little spelling mistake. I am great at spelling. Don't you worry. Okay. Oh, but that gives me a cool idea for a spell, right? Or like you just cast. I don't know, because that's a cool idea, right? Each like flavor of ice cream is a different elemental damage. But I just don't think it makes sense that don't think it makes sense why ice cream would do fire damage. As cool as it would be, it just doesn't make sense. Okay. Alrighty, but this works. You create 1 additional scoop for each spell slot above level 2. It's available for these people, sure. No, it's not gonna be available for any of these gentlemen. Only for the dragon. It's a dragon unique spell. That's a modifier. Let's save these changes first. Okay. I'll saved. Oh, we need to add a class that is available for a bard. There you go. Cool, cool. And then this isn't damage fire. This is damage cold. Base count 2, d6. 3 scoops. Cool. So now we can throw that onto our dragons as one of their spells. Now we need 2 other spells. So this was an easy one to make. It's just a remake of Scorched Ray. But the next 2 we make are going to need to be completely homebrewed. So let's think about what we could do. Ice cream related spells. Okay, let's think about this. First, let's go add this spell to our dragons. So it'll be on the adult and the ancient. Ice cream scoop. Ooh, I didn't even know you could do this. You can do spells, command. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if there's something we could do for the sandcastle where we do like the troop. But anyways, Scorching Ray will be replaced with Ice Cream Catapult. There we go. And then we need to come up with, I want ice cream related things to replace command and detect magic. I want it all to be ice cream flavored. I just don't know what will make, what 2 ice cream spells we can homebrew for this thing. Um, but first, I guess let's just make sure this works as expected on the character sheet, that we do actually see ice cream catapult. And then if so, we'll add it to the ancient as well. So we go banana adult, banana split dragon. And then we should see. Okay, refreeze. We can also test this. We haven't tested this yet. Perfect. We should see. No, our spell isn't popping up here. Tooltip not found. Let me double check what we named our spell. I believe it was ice cream catapult. Maybe they're ice cream catapult. Yeah. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Typo in the monster sheet? Maybe, potentially. Doesn't look like it. Ice cream catapult. I mean, I just put a link there. That's not what I want. Okay. Or no, that's not a link. It's just blue. Um. No, go. Okay. We'll just wait a second here. Okay, I did do something different here. What's the difference I did here? Oh, I read the bracket. That's why. Ice cream catapult. Okay, so it should be the exact same. Yes. Okay, so this should work. I mean, that is the spell name. I was just like double, triple, quadruple checking that I spelt it right here, but I don't see any typos. So I might misunderstand how that spells things works, but let's see. It just doesn't work with homebrews. Anyways, well, I figured this out. If any of you have ideas for the ice cream spells, the 2 other ice cream spells we can put on this dragon, feel free to send them in chat. I'm pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Out of creative juice right now. I can't think of two more spells. And this thing doesn't want to save. We could do like we could do something ice cream related that like knocks people prone. Um, or we could do like an AoE related, like maybe we do a like a syrup flood or something. Like it does AoE damage. Oh, what if we do it does AoE damage to people in a range? And because they're covered in syrup, that terrain becomes difficult terrain, so it's harder for them to move on it. Ooh, we might have just cooked up a little storm. But first, let's see if we can get this thing to appear for us on our character sheet. Tooltip not found. Huh. Huh. Okay. Well, once we figure this out, we have an idea for a spell we can do. So once we do that syrup flood or whatever we're gonna call it, chocolate syrup flood, um, we still need one more spell. Actually, we need two more spells because we also got to replace fireball with something. Though that is, I mean, that could just be a giant ice cream ball, whatever you want to call it. That's a pretty easy one to do. But we could get more creative with it if we want. Um, why is ice cream catapult not working? I wonder if it just doesn't work with homebrewed spells. That could be the case. Wait. Copy of Scorching Ray. Is that why? Did the name not save? No, Ice Cream Catapult. It really should work. It's spelled correctly. It's using the same formatting. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Unless it just doesn't work with homebrews. In which case, I don't know what to do. We can just put it in. But if we can't figure this out right now, we'll circle back to this. I want to make that spell while it's still fresh in the brain. Okay, so let's do one more try. We'll paste it in. Bang. Ice cream catapult. We have a comma. Spells. Name. Slash spells. I wonder if we need to put something other than spells. But, and it's an adult banana split dragon. Let's save this. Take one more sneak peek if it worked or not. And then go from there. Please work. Please just work. Do it for me. I'm desperate. Please work. I hate you. What if? Wait. Maybe we gotta take it out of the encounter and then add it back. Oh, oh, no. Why though? So if we look at spells and I search it here, is it gonna come up? Oop, that's not how you do it, and that's also not what I called it. Ice cream catapult. So it's just not coming up here. So it might be so we gotta put something different. Or just you straight up can't do it, which might be the case. It'd be real nice to be able to add it, though. Hmm. Maybe Google has an answer for us. When trying to link spells on a homebrew monster in D&D Beyond, use may encounter issues such as no tooltip found. This because tooltips cannot be used to reference homebrew creations. Instead, it is recommended to use a normal link for homebrew spells. This approach follows for the inclusion of homebrew spells and monster abilities, so we just can't do it. Is basically what we're getting told here. Okay, no problem. This, we must just accidentally created a duplicate. We can delete that. All right, well, we just wasted our time because it's literally not possible. So at least we aren't crazy, though. What it said to do, one second, let me just quickly do. It said to just copy a link and put it in there. So we'll do this real quick. Okay, now we can go to my homebrew creations. We'll open up the dragon and we'll just throw a link in there to the spell instead of the tooltip. So instead of that, we'll just throw in our link. Let's see how that works now. We'll save that, and we will go from there. Again, I've never actually homebrewed a spell before. This is my first one, so I'm not super familiar with all this. Sorry that it's taken a bit longer than expected to get it in, but once we figure this out, we'll be good to go in the future. As the link is not a clickable link, but at least the link is there. Oh, it says link removed. Oh, come on. Maybe I'll just put Ice Cream Catapult, because we aren't sharing this. So I just need to know what it is. I don't actually need a link there. It would have been cool to do it. But it's for me. I know what Ice Cream Catapult is. I don't need the link there, so we'll just put Ice Cream Catapult. It's a shame you can't use tooltips for homebrewed content. Or spells, at least. All right. So we can start working on those other two spells those other spells we were talking about now. Again, if this thing feels like saving. There we go. So, um, we need to create a new spell. Now, should this replace Fireball, or is this just going to be like a smaller AoE one? You know what would be good? So I think this is just going to be a regular spell, not its Fireball attack. We'll do something else for Fireball. What is that? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. What's the spell where you like summon the spirits in a cube around you? The cleric spell. Um. Oh, what's it called? What's it called? That's exactly what we would want to base this off of. Or do we? Well, actually, let's decide on the shape we want it to be. Do we want it to be a square, or should we do like a a a syrup puddle? Ooh, syrup puddle goes hard. Okay, so let's make it a circle. So circle of death. Sure. It doesn't require materials because screw that. And we'll call this syrup puddle or syrup pond. Syrup pond sounds cooler. So we'll do that. Range, I guess it can be casted from range. That's fine. 6th level spell is a bit much. It's going to be a 2nd level spell. This will be version 1.0.0. Spell. We'll do conjuration. Sure. Instantaneous. Okay. So, um, yeah, we want to keep spear. So, it will only be like a 10-foot radius because it's a level 2 spell. And we'll say, oh, it should be chocolate syrup pond. That's not how you spell chocolate. Oh my goodness, I need a new mouse. Chocolate syrup pond. And then down here we will say, oh my goodness, my mouse double clicks so I can't highlight stuff and then delete it. Oh my goodness. I give up. We'll do it this way. 10-foot radius from the points you choose within range. Each creature in that area must make, let's do a dexterity saving throw. That's not how you spell dexterity. Dude, I suck at spelling. Did I even spell engulfs right? Yes, yes I did. How do you spell dexterity? I got this. I need Grammarly to work in this. Dexterity saving throw. Taking, we'll do 2d6 cold damage on failed or half as much on a successful one. Then we'll say the, how do we word this? The, terrain in the sphere is now considered difficult terrain. We can probably word that better, but I think that gets the point across. Higher level spell uses, the damage will increase by a 1d6 for any level above 2. And then duration will be time, and it will be, this is in rounds? Yes. 1 round. So basically, you summon chocolate. This dragon is going to summon chocolate syrup on the ground, which will deal a bit of damage and also make it harder for the characters to move. I think that's pretty cool for a banana split dragon, right? I mean, sure, it can be available for every class, but realistically, only the dragon's ever going to use it. So let's save that and replace one of the banana split dragon spells with this. So if we go back to the adult banana split dragon, oops, wrong page. And then we need 2 more. We need to replace fireball, and we need 1 more level 2 spell. I'm replacing fireball. There is the basic simple option of just making a giant ice cream scoop, but let's get more creative if we can. So we'll replace detect magic with our chocolate syrup pond. We could probably come up with a better name. That's also not how you spell chocolate again. And then we need something to replace command with. We need one more ice cream flavored spell. If anyone has suggestions, I'm all ears. Feel free to throw them in chat. Let's think about this. What if we do like a banana spear? And it's just pure damage, just a pure damage attack. Banana spear, it just you launch an absolute banana at a target. It does damage. If we don't have any better ideas, I think that's what I'll go with. I mean, we can always revisit this and make more after. And then we'll need one more to replace Fireball. And oh my goodness, I gotta stretch. That feels good. That feels very good. So yeah, let's do that then. Do that then. Alright, time to make yet another spell for our friendly neighborhood dragon. Spell. And we'll base this off of, I guess, Ice Knife is a good example. So we'll call this Banana Spear. This is going to be second level. I don't care. Conjuration, sure. Casting time action doesn't require material. It will require verbal. Range 60 feet. Sure, that works. You create a large banana. And wait, how did they word it? And fling it? That sounds good. You create a large banana and fling it at one creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On hit, the target takes 1d10, we'll say bludgeoning damage. Is that how you spell bludgeoning? I doubt it. Let's see. That is not at all how you spell bludgeoning. We weren't even close. Oh my goodness. Let me fix that up real quick. And then I don't think we want the hit or miss part of this. I think this is just going to be a straight hit, so. And then since it's just a straight hit, we can maybe do 2d10. Still won't be as strong as like something like inflict wounds or whatever. So you just create a large ass banana and absolutely chuck it at somebody. So a banana split dragon will now be able to launch ice cream scoops at you as a spell. It will be able to summon chocolate syrup that damages you and slows you down. And it is going to be able to launch an absolute chode of a banana towards you. I think it's getting pretty flavorful. So add an additional. An additional 1d10 for each spell slot level above 1. That works. Classes doesn't matter because it's just for our dragon, so we can just leave that as is. And there we go. Now we can add this to the banana split dragon, and we just need to replace fireball with something ice cream flavored. So we can start thinking of that now. The question is what? Here. Get rid of this with banana spear. Cool. Now we just need our 1-a-day spell. Again, the easy solution is just to make it fireball to like ice cream ball or something, but that's kind of lame. I'd like to at least add some flavor to it. So let's think. What is a powerful ice cream based spell we could make? Um, Actually, let me save this quickly before I forget to do it. Cool. What do we do? What do we do? My creative juices have run out. We've. I can't think of anything else. Banana splits have cherries. I don't think we're doing anything with cherries yet. At least some banana splits have cherries, right? On the top of the ice cream. Yeah, they have cherries. So let's make it something cherry related. What about like cherry bomb, which will act like a fireball, but it'll be cherry bomb. Add a bit of flavor. I think we can do that. Let's do that. And then our banana split dragon will be completed. We just need to add these spells over to the ancient version as well. And oh, we could come up with some legendary actions for it as well. Oh man, well, there's actually still a good amount we got to do for this thing. Okay, that's fine. This will be based off of Fireball. Cool, so this will be called Cherry Bomb. Version 1.0.0, third level, evocation, action, no material. It's just the dragon that's going to be casting this. Cool, 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 cool. A bright streak flashes for you to a point you choose within range, and blossoms to a low fury fiery explosion. So let's make this our own description. A cherry appears above a point of your choice and drops to the ground below it. Each creature in a 20-foot radius centered on that point makes a dexterity saving throw. Taking 8d6, this will be cold damage. Field saver has much of the same one. Flammable objects in the area being worn or carried. This does not apply to this. We could just say, yeah, that doesn't apply here. The damage increase for 1d6 for each spell slot above 3. Okay. I almost want to make this a Constitution saving throw instead of Dexterity, because you aren't dodging the bomb per se. You're trying to withstand the cold explosion. So let's do that. Constitution saving throw. Da 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 da. Cool, cool, cool. We could add a bit more flavor and make it replace that flammable objects thing with something else. Maybe we say, mm, maybe we say if you don't succeed, you go prone. So basically, you lose half your movement speed. And then obviously, if there's other creatures with the dragon, you're more vulnerable. Because it only casts us once a day. Let's do that. Actually, I like that. Um, so on a failed save and gaining the, I believe it is condition prone slash condition or half damage or just take half damage on a successful one. There we go. And then let's save that. And I think that'll work. We can go check out the spell in the character sheet real quick to make sure the condition is, or on here actually. So view homebrew spell. Ah, not what I want to do. My homebrew creations. We'll check cherry bomb. Make sure it looks right. Yes, prone. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We did it. Now if we go to our monster. And then that will be our final ice cream flavored homebrewed spell for the banana split dragon. Let's check this out in an encounter. Or I guess these aren't actually tooltips, so we don't need to. Cool. So what I will do is copy this and put it into the ancient banana split dragon as well. Just so we don't forget to do that. Cool, cool. We need our ancient. And now we need to come up with our legendary actions for this guy, which is going to be a lot of fun. We haven't done legendary actions before, and homebrewing anyways. And we'll save that. Okay. So I think that's going to be it for the homebrewing today. I think I'm going to go get dinner shortly. It's about 5 p.m. here. I think maybe we could end the day off with just a couple more fun live encounters. So let's do that. If anybody has any encounters you want to see, let me know. Any CR, we were doing like dragons earlier and storm giants, that sort of stuff. So it could be high CR or it could be CR0. Anything you guys want, let me know. And I'll just cook something up real quick while we wait for you. I know the deer is like an absolute fan favorite, so maybe I'll do something with the deer here. Maybe we do a deer versus a crab, two fan favorites pitted up against each other. Deer versus crab. This is about to be an epic showdown. Okie dokie. We'll restart the encounter. So, I think the crab is about to get its shit kicked in. I'm going to be honest. The crab's about to get absolutely murdered, but it'll get murdered in style. And then I need to today after once I end stream, I'll find the dramatic music I use in the videos somewhere on my PC and add it as a sound to my stream so I can play it in the background while we do this live. But for now, we're going to be doing it no music, so it's not going to be quite as epic, but we'll give it a go. Watch this. Oh, that was a shitty watch. Hold on a second. Let me get a drink real quick. Watch this epic showdown as a crab takes on a deer. We'll start by rolling initiative. The crab gets an 18, the deer gets a 14. We'll start with the crab, which is going to try a claw attack against the deer. That is a 5 to hit. It will not hit. We move on to the deer, which is going to try and ram the crab. That is a 21 to hit, and it is going to deal a staggering 2 damage to the crab. We move back to the crab, which is once again going to try a claw attack against the deer. That is a 4 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the deer, which is once again going to try and ram the crab. That is a 16 to hit, and it is going to do another staggering 2 damage to the crab. And that is a dead crab. That was not a very balanced fight now, was it? So we can throw something else. Oh, you know what we should do? We should get a rematch of the deer versus the commoner. In the actual series, the deer one-shot the commoner. So let's see if it can repeat that or if the commoner can put up a better fight in a rematch. Of course, this doesn't change the short series. The deer won, the deer won. But let's see if we can get a different result here. Watch this epic battle as the commoner takes on a deer. We'll start by rolling initiative. The commoner gets a 12, the deer gets a 22. We'll start with the deer, which is going to try and ram the commoner. That is a natural 1 to hit. It will not hit. We move on to the commoner, which is going to try a club attack against the deer. That is a 14 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal a staggering 3 damage to the deer. We move back to the deer, which is going to once again try and ram the commoner. That is a 13 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 1 damage to the commoner. We move back to the commoner, looking to finish off the deer with a club attack. That is a 14 to hit. That does hit, and it is going to deal an outrageous 4 damage to the deer. And that is a dead deer. There you go. The commoner got its revenge, people. The deer beat the commoner in the tournament, but the commoner gets its get back right here. And see, this is why I love the one and done. It's like you don't know who's going to win. Either side can win, you know? That's. Do we do a best 2 out of 3 now? The commoner won 1, the deer won 1. Do we settle the beef with a third and final battle? I think we need to. I think it's the only choice we got. Alrighty, here we go. Watch this epic battle as the commoner takes on a deer. We'll start by rolling initiative. The commoner gets a 17, the deer gets an 18. We'll start with the deer, which is going to try a ram attack against the commoner. That is a 17 to hit, and it will deal a staggering 4 damage to the commoner. And that is a dead commoner. Oh, the deer takes the best 2 out of 3, with both of its wins coming from a 1-hit KO with the ram. You can't write this script. Damn, I did not see that coming. I'm going to be real. I thought it was going to be a bit more of a battle there. Okay. What else could we do for our encounters? We could do a higher CR one as well. Did you... Basic rules. Let's do like a ooh. Well, we could do let's do a 1 CR battle here. Ooh, what if we do an animated armor versus a sword? Hold on. What CR is the sword? Animated flying sword 1-4. That's a decent matchup. Let's see what we're working with here. Can the sword beat the armor, or will the armor come out on top? This is actually a dope matchup. Oh, the armor has way more hit points. Maybe it isn't a very fair matchup. It's not a fair matchup at all. The sword's going to get absolutely fucking bashed. But we can give it a go anyways. It's here now. Alrighty. Watch this epic battle as animated armor takes on an animated flying sword. We'll start by rolling initiative. The sword gets a 7, the armor gets a 5. We'll start with the sword, which is going to try and slash the armor. That is a 11 to hit. It will not hit. We move on to the armor, which is going to try and make 2 slam attacks against the sword. The first is a natural 20 to hit. That is going to do critical damage to the sword for a staggering 10 damage. It is then going to perform its second slam attack. That one is a 10 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the sword, which is going to try to slash the armor yet again. This time it is a 19 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal a whopping 10 damage to the armor. We move back to the armor, which is once again going to try 2 slam attacks against the sword. That is a 16 to hit. It will not hit. It's going to try its second slam attack. That is only a 6 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the sword, which is once again going to try a slash attack against the armor. That is a 15 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the armor, which is once again going to try 2 slam attacks against the sword. That is a 12 to hit. It will not hit. It will try one more time. That is a 21 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 3 damage to the sword. The sword holding on for dear life is going to try and slash the armor. That is a 15 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the armor, which is once again going to try and slam the sword. That will hit, dealing 3 damage to the sword. And that is a dead sword. You know what? That battle went on way longer than I was expecting. That was more epic. There was a lot of misses in there. For a second, I thought the sword was going to make a comeback because the armor just kept missing, but the sword also just kept missing. That was a tough look both ways. Okay. So I'm probably going to call it a stream in a second here. Go get dinner. Last call though. Is there any encounters you guys want to see in specific, or will I wait just to see if there's any requests? Tomorrow we'll be going live again around 12 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully on time. Today I was like an hour and a half late. I apologize. We like to stream for about 3 to 4 hours every day, so the stream will end around 3, 4 Eastern. And tomorrow we're going to be finishing off our Banana Split Dragon. Then we'll go through community-made homebrew content, take a look through them, see if we like any of them, pull them in if we do. They'll be used in the tournament. Then I think we're also going to do some homebrewed items. We haven't done items yet. And then we will do some of these encounters just sprinkled in throughout the stream whenever we are struggling to think of a item or something to make. So I think I'll end this off with one final encounter. What do we do for our final encounter? Let's do a 1 CR battle. We could do a dire wolf versus a bear, maybe. That could be a matchup. This could absolutely be a good matchup. Let's restart this encounter. Oh yeah, this is a good matchup. The bear does have multi-attack, which I think will give it the edge. But the dire wolf has more AC. And is larger crawler, it has the prone condition. That doesn't matter because there's nothing to follow up on it. It doesn't get a multi-attack. But impact tactics won't play a factor here. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's going to come down to the die who wins here. My money is on the bear, but let's see how this goes. Watch this epic battle as a brown bear takes on a dire wolf. We'll start by rolling initiative. The bear gets a 7, the wolf gets a 9. We'll start with the wolf, which is going to try and bite the bear. That is a 11 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal a whopping 4 damage to the brown bear. We now move on to the bear, which is going to try a bite attack against the wolf. That is a 8 to hit. It will not hit. It will now try a claw attack against the wolf. That is a natural 1 for 6. It will not hit either. We move back to the wolf, which is once again going to try and bite the bear. It gets a 9 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the bear, which is once again going to try and bite the wolf. That is a 14 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 5 damage to the wolf. The bear is then going to try and follow up that bite with a claw attack, and that is a 13 to hit. It will not hit. We move back to the wolf, which is going to reply with its own bite attack against the bear. That is an 18 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to deal 11 damage to the bear. We move back to the bear. Hanging in there is going to try a bite attack against the wolf. That's a 9 to hit. It will not hit. It's going to follow it up with a claw attack. That is a 16 to hit. That will hit, and it is going to deal 6 damage to the wolf. We move back to the wolf, which will be looking to finish off the bear here with one more bite attack. That is a 13 to hit. It will hit, and it is going to be able to deal 4 damage. We move back to the bear, which is now clinging on for dear life. It is going to try and reply with a bite attack of its own, but it gets a 7 to hit. That will not hit. It will try and follow it up with a claw attack. It gets another natural 1, which will not hit. We move back to the dire wolf, which is going to try a bite attack. That is an 18 to hit. That will hit, and it will deal 4 damage to the bear. And that is a dead brown bear. Ooh, that battle was fucking epic. That was a really good battle. I thought it was going to be way quicker than that. All the misses were really, really adding up there. I thought the bear was going to win. I stand corrected. My bad. My bad. All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to call it a stream there, guys. Again, I'll be live around 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for some homebrew monsters, some homebrew items, and some review of community homebrew items, and we'll sprinkle in these encounters throughout the stream. So yeah, guys, I appreciate everyone who stopped by the stream and watched, as always, whether you lurked, chatted, doesn't matter. I appreciate you being in here. There's a million videos you could watch on YouTube, a million live streams you could watch. So the fact that you're in here hanging out with me means a lot. And yeah, guys, I will speak to you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will catch you on the flippity flip. Have a good one, guys.